Next. Next.
Regressive taxes.
Okay. What is regressive?
It's declining.
What kind of decline? The percentage for poor more percent, for rich less percent. That's it. Like today. Like today. Next. That was the last thing, right? Take it in drain of wealth. What is this drain of wealth? While discussing again, in freedom fighters, so-called freedom fighters, we are discussing now. The front line, first line politicians. In that, we're discussing them. There are three kinds of them: moderates, extremists, and revolutionaries. We're discussing moderates. I discuss. This is my moderates. Don't worry. Moderates, extremists, and revolutionaries. Only three kinds, and we made that. Who is that fellow? Drain of wealth. When he was alive, he don't know he was a moderator, right? When Bhagat Singh he was alive, he don't know he was a revolutionary, right? And some other fellows they don't know they are the extremists, right? We are for our sake, for our education purpose, we differentiated moderates, extremists, and revolutionaries. So they are the drain of wealth is the concept of the moderates, not extremists or revolutionaries. And drain of wealth, this is the concept which was started during modern first phase of Indian independence. See, there are three stages: moderate phase, extremist phase, revolutionary phase, and the three phases. The moderate phase, this concept came into limelight, drain of wealth. So, while discussing drain of wealth, you must talk about something about moderates, okay? Especially Dadabhai Naoroji, because this is his theory which he noted. He quoted his own book, Poverty and British Rule in India. That is the book. In that book, he quoted this concept, the drain of wealth. So, what is this drain of wealth?
Money from
Not actually money, wealth.
From India to England.
So you can say this is a migration of the resources. From where to where?
India to England.
India to? If Pakistan, consider Bangladesh to Pakistan today. Two independent states, right? Is this drain of wealth? No?
Yes.
So what is the definition? Just forget the India and British. Define it. What is drain of wealth? Flow of resources from one country to another country without any return. That's it. Right? Define it. Right. It may be defined as migration of resources from one country to other. Resources of one country benefiting the other country by any means. Resources of one country benefiting the other by any means can as well as said to be drain of wealth. So this concept made British and their administration as unique compared to the rest of the Europeans. Because before and even after the British, the French, they did not practice this concept. The only European who drained in a systematic way was the English. So while discussing drain of wealth, we must discuss in the English as well as the moderates. Why moderates? Because they raised the voice against this after the loot was completed. It all started first in Bengal with Mir Jafar giving English 5 lakh pounds. Mir Jafar giving English 5 lakh pounds in the form of gift. Why he gave? For making him a Nawab. So this is the first instance of drain of wealth started in India. And definitely the second one, the custom duty free trade, also caused drain, as English exported raw materials in a large quantity with less minimum price for that raw material. Yes or no? So which benefits? England's industries. Next, the rich revenues of Bengal, which the Indian revenue, it did not reach the British. It was collected within India and used for their expansion activity within India. That means they did not drain that to England, but the England people, they use it within India for their benefit. So is this drain of wealth or not? So what is the first definition of drain of wealth? One country to another country. See, one country to another country, not in a practical note, or you can say not in a physical movement, but for the benefit of other country, right? Otherwise, they must brought the money which they can use here for the wars and all. They must brought from the British, England, right? So otherwise, they can use the same thing which is they collect here for our, for against our own right? So the same thing. This is another definition of reign of wealth, and within bracket write this definition. Not actual movement or not actual transfer of, not just actual transfer of wealth from one country to another country, but also they use it the same. Otherwise, they must brought from England. So this is something which benefited the British, right? This is also kind of reign of wealth. Hope you understood the concept. Before 1857 revolt, the military expenditure which constitutes the major part of the brain, India's resources which is used by Britishers, India's resources like Indian soldiers and Indian war equipments, Indian war techniques and Indian war related medical things, food things, which was used not just within India, which was used by Britishers not just within India, but also India-Afghan war, but also India-Burma war, Anglo-Burmese war, etc. So these are all a part of reign of wealth only. Okay, who started railways in India? Britishers. For what purpose?
To drain it.
To drain wealth. Exactly, that is what I needed. So not for the benefit of Indians. Right. See, there are three kinds of the, at that time, in major, there are three kinds of the transport system. One is waterway, another is roadway, another is railway, right? So, resources, mineral resources and everything, they are concentrated in the mid of the forest. From that mid of the forest to nearby railway track through roadway, truck. That railway track to this port, railway. That railway track to, that railway station to this port, railway. And this port to England, ship, waterway. This is the, their modus operandi. Okay, for that nearby, mineral rich mine which is there, from there to port, there must be some connection, right? For that connection, they install railway system. Otherwise, there is no need of railway for them. And this is definitely not for the benefit of the Indians. To drain much, they installed railway. So this railway system is another part of drain of wealth, right? So write that. Okay. Dinshaw. Watch out. This is another parliamentarian. He see, not Dalai Lama. He was the first one who calculated how much wealth was drained away from India to England. He was the first one who calculated. So Dinshaw, not Disha. Dinshaw, just like calculated drain. For the first time, he calculated the amount of drain. How much amount already drained? See, normally in prelims what they'll do. Dalai Lama, he calculated the drain. Wrong. He calculated. Dinshaw, another parliamentarian. The first Indian who calculated the drain of wealth in the form of rupees. Another person called R.P. Dutt. R.P. Dutt. He wrote the text called India Today. Not this one. Channel. He wrote the text called India Today. And he explained the drain here. What is really drain was. So this is the time. The concept of drain which came into limelight, and within the parliament, the discussion started regarding economic exploitation of the British. Finally, the concept of drain of wealth finally become the basis for India's economic nationalism. So finally, the concept of drain and drain of wealth, this discussion which started in Parliament, right? Dalai Lama in his thesis only, he gave the word drain for the first time, and R.P. Dutt in India Today, he defined the term in other terms, and Dinshaw Wacha, he calculated the amount in rupees. So these things which were started within the Parliament. When the concept came into limelight, everybody started to talk about that. And what is the thing? Why they started to talk? Because this is a concept of nationalism. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ದೇಶ ಪ್ರೇಮ ಇದೆ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಡೋಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಹೇಗೆ? ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶ ಲೂಟಿ ಹೊಡಿತಿದಾರಂತೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶ ಲೂಟಿ ಹೊಡಿತಿದೆ, ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಲೂಟಿ ಹೊಡಿತಿದಾರಂತೆ, Dinshaw Wacha ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರಂತೆ, ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಲೂಟಿ ಹೊಡಿತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೊಡಿತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರಂತೆ. So this became a matter of patriotism, nationalistic, or you can say economic nationalism. So this turns into a patriotic, concept. So every Indian they started to talk regarding drain of wealth. So in your conclusion of drain of wealth, you must have this concept. Okay. So finally it ends up, or finally it reached to economic nationalism. ನಮಗೆ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲಿಸಮ್ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಇದೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶನ ಅಕ್ವೈರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರಂತೆ ಅದಂತೆ ಇದಂತೆ ಅಂತ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲಿಸಮ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಯೂಸ್ ದಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲಿಸಮ್. ಜನ ಯಾಕೆ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಫಾರ್ ಪೇಟ್ರಿಯಾಟಿಸಮ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವ್ಯೂ, ಪೇಟ್ರಿಯಾಟಿಸಮ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವ್ಯೂ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲಿಸಮ್. ಆರ್ ಯು ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್?
Yes, sir.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ಕ್ಲೂಷನ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. Right. The commercial, next point, the commercial policy which was responsible for drain of wealth was the modern industries which was related to plantation, jute industry, iron and steel industry, bankings, etc. See, drain of wealth. Wealth is not just a material thing. A human resource is also part of wealth or not. Anybody made to work in a less minimum price, is this a part of drain of wealth or not?
Yes.
See, that is what I am explaining here. In plantation industry, what they did? They started to employ Indians for less minimum price. So these also using human resources for their benefit. So drain of wealth or not? Using Begar, Article 23. Right, we discussed it. So Begar or forced labor, they did that. That is also part of drain of wealth. You know, e angle while discussing drain of wealth. Right? Banking, etc. The plantation industry was the first major industry in which European invested maximum. The commercial policy which was required for development of communication, like by 1839, the Grand Trunk Road, GT Road. See, this Grand Trunk Road between Calcutta to Delhi was completed by 1852. 1852, 53, 54 till 1857. This is very important years in the form of communication development in India. Because I tell you, in 1852, the maximum road was laid. In 1853, railway lanes were laid, and by 1857. In 1854, post and telegraphs was implemented. The underground cable networks. So the first underground cable network from Calcutta to Delhi was laid out in 1857. This communication system they developed. Again, this communication they developed. Why they developed this communication?
For their benefit.
To load more for their benefit. To load in a sophisticated manner. Right? 4 ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂತು ಮೈನ್ಸ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್. ಅದು ಟೆಲಿಫೋನ್. ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಳಿಸಿ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಮೈನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ನೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಳಿಸಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂತು, ರೈಟ್? ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮೈನನ್ನೇ ಕಳಿಸಿ ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಬಂತು, ರೈಟ್? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಈಕ್ವಲಿ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಇನ್ ಮಾಡರ್ನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. The commercial policy equally responsible for new social classes in modern India. In towns and cities of modern India, this new concept or these new things which included Indian middle class, which consisting of professions like doctors, lawyers, teachers, engineers, technicians, accountants, whatever, etc., etc. They are created by the English. See, what I am trying to tell you is these middle class and everything which has started now, these are all also, this is the social class, but these are also part of drain of wealth. See, these are created by the English for their benefit, for their process of loot, right? Technician ಬೇಕು ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಹಾಳಾದ್ರೆ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹುಷಾರಿಲ್ಲ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಅಥವಾ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಬೇಕು, ಈಸಿ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮನಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್. ಸೊ ದೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ದೇರ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್. ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಈವನ್ ಟುಡೇ ವಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ದ ಸೇಮ್, ರೈಟ್? So why it was started? It is a part of the drain of wealth. As a part of drain of wealth, these new middle class professions started in the new cities, new towns of India. Right? Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
In new cities, in new towns, the middle class profession which was started, that was started as a part of drain of wealth. That was started as a part of drain of wealth. Why it is a part of drain of wealth? It looks like it is a profession. But why it was started? It was started to float further in a sophisticated manner. Who started? Britishers. For their own benefit's sake. Right? Right. The Indian capitalist class and industrialist class. So these Tata, Birla, Bajaj, Warriors, these are the then industrialist class, the then capitalist class of India, which was emerging in India as a part of drain of wealth. Because the Britishers facilitated them, they provided incentives for these capitalists, because these capitalists are very near to the British government. This was started during the, as a process of drain of wealth by the Britishers. The Britishers, they started to give incentives, the Britishers, they started to give some of the, what we call, facilities for them, they made facilities for them, because these industrialist class, they indirectly, their industrial activity indirectly helped the Britishers to drain India furthermore. Okay, these are also part of drain of wealth, middle class, doctors drain of wealth. The banking profession which started in the towns and cities, that is also part of drain of wealth. The Tata, the industrialists, the capitalists, they are also part of drain of wealth. They are also indirectly helped to drain India. Right? Daily wage working class or labor class. This is one of the social class which even today existing, which was started during this period in India, in the then cities and towns of British India. So they are working in factories, They are working in industries as a daily wage worker. So this is also part of drain of wealth. The modern working class was formed for the first time in railway industry. However, first labor organization, underline this, first labor organization was formed in textile industry. Very, very, very important. Anybody heard this Bombay Millhood Association? That is the first labor organization, Bombay Millhood Association, the textile industry workers organization, Bombay Millhood Association, which was founded by N.M. Lakhande. N.M. Lakhande. The entire commercial policies of the British India would result into one single line: development of underdevelopment. What actually happened? Underdevelopment of India happened. India went into poor situation or extreme worst situation. So, hey, gradually, this is not a sudden. So, development of underdevelopment of India. Not sudden, right? Slowly. That's why the development. Of what? Young development ಆಗಿದ್ದು Indian worstness. Right? ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಬಡತನ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತಿದೆ, ನಾವು ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ? ಬಡತನ. Best conclusion. This is fragment of Gandalf Frank. There is a person called Gandalf Frank. I don't know the spelling and all, don't ask. Because Google might. Gandalf Frank is a British man and he was a very good officer, so he worked in India. And this fellow, he quoted this entire drain of wealth discussion in these terms. Gandalf Frank. This is the first time India saw development of underdevelopment of British language. There is a statement, a dialogue of the same dialogue I cast here. Okay. So by this note, the colonialism and their impact. Colonialism and its economic impact on India. That concept was over. Their impact. Colonialism, economic policy and their impact. See, nimge one clear picture sikta. What is colonialism, and what are the economic policies, and what is the impact, So one final touch sikta, and the final word of conclusion, right? So by that note, this is over. So from here, the tribal uprising, Zamindars movement, peasant movement. Yesterday, I touched it. I'll start, right?